AJ Styles has kept it no secret that he plans to retire from professional wrestling very, very soon. But what if before he hangs up his boot, he has one final run, and that one final run is in All Elite Wrestling? That's right, in this video we are going to be recklessly speculating that post-WrestleMania AJ Styles will make a jump from WWE to AEW to have a retirement run there. And before we get into how I would book it, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, that would be massively appreciated. Plus, leave a comment at the end of the video as well. It helps us out massively. We're kicking things off in Texas, all in Texas to be specific, because I predict, like pretty much everybody predicts, that Kazuchika Okada will be defending the Continental Championship against the International Champion Kenny Omega in a champion versus champion bout at the event. We know months and months ago when Kenny Omega returned, he had that stare down with Okada under that All-In banner, and that match in an arena like a stadium in Texas, that would be absolutely insane. We know the insane matches they had together in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and for this to happen in the States for the first time, it would undoubtedly be a banger. But in the end, I predict, and for the sake of this fantasy booking, I will say that Kenny Omega will win and will become a double champion. And at this point, AJ Styles comes out, he makes his debut, and the show ends with the two staring off. And they don't waste any time getting to the match, because I'm predicting it's going to happen at AEW X New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. And yes, I know this technically isn't a Forbidden Door match, but let's face it, the past 3 years of Forbidden Door, there have been matches on the card which just aren't AEW versus New Japan matches. And both of these guys are former IWGP heavyweight champions over in New Japan, so it makes a lot of sense. And New Japan aren't going to have any issues with these two facing each other on that card. Plus, it could probably mean they can use footage of them together in New Japan Pro Wrestling as well to hype up the match, so I'm sure they'll be all good with it. But in my fantasy booking, AJ Styles would lose this match. Kenny Omega would retain the newly, merged International and Continental Championships after a banger of a bout. But after Forbidden Door, AJ Styles comes out on Dynamite and is quickly interrupted by Will Ospreay, who asks to face him in Chicago at All Out. And he says, hey, I know we faced off years and years and years ago, but I'm a completely different wrestler to I was then, and I want this dream match once again. You are my idol, and it would mean so much to me. And AJ Styles goes, okay, I want to test my ability. I want to make sure after that loss against Kenny Omega that I am still at that top level. They confirm it, and the match happens. But a pretty big twist happens, because at All Out in Chicago, Will Ospreay turns heel. He cheats to beat AJ Styles. AJ Styles is shocked. He has turned on his idol, and Ospreay gets the W. After this, AJ Styles is heartbroken. Not only is he not certain if he can go at the highest level anymore, but somebody who looks up to him just betrayed him. And the worst part is, he knows he would have done the same thing in Will Ospreay's shoes. I mean, AJ Styles did that over and over and over again earlier on in his career. But on the following Dynamite, when he's about to cut a promo, MJF interrupts him. He calls AJ Styles washed. He says all this stuff which AJ Styles thinks that maybe there is a little bit of a grain of truth to, and the two then face off at Wrestle Dream. AJ Styles is trying to prove that he can still go, but MJF manages to beat him. 1, 2, 3. Of course, there will be some heel antics, but at the end of the day, in typical MJF fashion, he will get the victory. At this point, AJ Styles is beginning to believe his worst fear, that he can no longer go at the highest level. He is standing in the middle of the ring after Wrestle Dream, and out comes the Don Callis family. Don Callis invites him to join the faction, and AJ Styles said, absolutely not. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this on my own. And this takes us all the way to Full Gear, where AJ Styles faces Kyle Fletcher in another banger. And this is going to be a bit of a theme, right, with this booking. I'm trying to get in as many AJ Styles dream matches as possible, while also telling a story throughout them, which links them all together. I'm not doing too many long feuds in this fantasy booking because, again, he's only going to be there for a short period of time. And to get the most matches possible and the amount of dream matches possible off the table, I do think is the best move. But at Full Gear, AJ Styles does get his first W in AEW. He puts the W in AEW and gets the win over Carl Fletcher. And this takes us to the Continental Classic, and AJ Styles does enter it. And he goes on a winning streak, right? He is leading his block all the way to the end when he faced Konosuke Takeshita, and Don Callis screws AJ. He is still mad at him over the Kyle Fletcher thing, and in the end, Takeshita gets the W. But AJ still does have a chance to get to the finals when he takes on Hangman Adam Page, but Hangman Page does cleanly defeat him, meaning AJ is left in the group stages. But in a twist of previous years, I wouldn't have the semi-finals taking place at World's End. Instead, I would have them take place the week before on Dynamite. And in Takeshita's semi-final match, Don Callis tries to help Takeshita cheat, and AJ Styles come down to help whoever he's facing. And therefore, we get at World's End a rematch between Styles and Takeshita. And at World's End, we do get the rematch, Takeshita versus Styles, and this time Styles does get the victory, ending his short feud with the Don Callis family. But of course, Konosuke Takeshita wasn't the only person who Styles lost to in the tournament. He also lost to Hangman Adam Page, which in this fantasy booking was the runner-up overall of the Continental Classic. He lost to whoever, I guess, won the tournament. I haven't thought that part out because it's not related to AJ Styles. But at Revolution, Hangman Page and AJ Styles face off once again. Very friendly. AJ just says to Hangman, hey, I know you idolize me, but I want to face you one more time. I want to prove that I can beat you. I want to prove it to myself. And Hangman accepts. And they have a banger of a match, and AJ does end up getting the victory. And after AJ Styles defeats Hangman Page at Revolution, there's so many pay-per-views, he then has a match at Dynasty, and that match is against the man who respects him a lot, and he just wants the opportunity to face AJ Styles, to prove to himself he can beat AJ Styles, and that is Mr. Dynasty himself, Swerve Strickland. But despite the fact that Swerve took him right to his limits, AJ Styles does get the victory and continues his momentum. But then AJ Styles declares himself for the Owen Hart Cup tournament because he wants to find a way to face the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion Will Ospreay at All In London. That's right, in this situation, Ospreay has now become, as a heel, World Champion. We know Owen Hart was a big idol for AJ Styles as well, so this all does make a lot of sense. And he enters the tournament and he gets all the way to the final where he faces MJF, the guy who beat him earlier on in this run. But this time, MJF does not win, and AJ Styles does instead. And AJ Styles has finally beaten everybody other than Omega, who he has lost to in AEW. Well, and Ospreay, of course, but now he gets this opportunity. But before he does, just for the funsies, we have a Forbidden Door match. And AJ Styles, well, he could really face anybody from New Japan. It's just a bit of a fun match and to spotlight somebody before he retires. But the person who I'm going to choose is Gabe Kidd, because it would be a banger of a match, no doubt about it. But AEW All In London, Wembley Stadium, AJ Styles has an opportunity to win the championship. But not only that, he also has the opportunity to avenge his only other loss, ignoring Kenny Omega in AEW, and the guy who turned heel on him earlier in the run, Will Ospreay. But what's interesting about this, of course, is that the crowd will probably be a bit mixed because it's in England, right? They are going to be probably rooting for Ospreay a bit, but also they know as AJ Styles' career is coming to an end. So I think it will be a little bit of a mixed crowd, a mixed reaction. But even still, the crowd ends up going for Ospreay throughout the match, and Will Ospreay does retain the championship. And worse than that, he retains it cleanly. AJ Styles is absolutely heartbroken. That was meant to be the last big moment of his career. He doesn't know what to do. The next week on Dynamite, he comes out and he challenges Will Ospreay again. And Will comes out and is like, why on earth would I challenge you? And AJ Styles goes, because you always have said that you are better than me. Well, you can retire me. I will put my career on the line all out 2 weeks' time at Atlanta, Georgia, for the AEW Championship. And Will Ospreay, he can't resist the potential opportunity to retire AJ Styles and accepts the match. In AJ Styles' home state, in his home arena, we complete the retirement tour. Will Ospreay, AJ Styles career versus championship. And of course, Will Ospreay does get the win once again, cleanly once again. And AJ Styles retires to Will Ospreay. But there we have it, my booking of AJ Styles' retirement tour in All Elite Wrestling. Like you guys can see, I kind of went for more matches and more dream matches over multiple long-term storylines while still having an overarching storyline over the entire thing. That way you can do as many dream matches as possible, keeping it fun throughout. So what do you guys think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you have any ideas of how you would do it better? Any other matches you want to see? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.